All right, guys, happy Friday, November 3rd. I wanted to jump on here real quick. I'm sure some of you guys have heard on the news that the jobs report came out, and it came out a little bit weaker than what we were expecting, which was actually good news for mortgage rates. So I wanted to share with you that in the news, you've likely heard that rates have improved. And so I know you guys are still in that status of either you were pre-qualified or pre-approved and you're waiting to buy, or you might be a client that have purchased in the last few years. I wanted to get this message out for two different reasons. Number one, if you've heard in the news that rates have improved, it's absolutely correct. This is a look at the bond market. It's what I monitor every single day so that we can see how rates are moving. And when we see this line like this, where it's green and it's going up, that basically means it's positive news for interest rates. So they have come down a little bit, but I did want to share with you a 3-month look back. So here's where we are today. Here's where we were 3 months ago. Every single day, interest rates move. And if you look at this candlestick chart, on some days, the candlestick is longer than others, which means the movement on that particular day was greater. And so I don't want to be a Debbie Downer to say these rates could go back up. It's really unlikely that they will. In fact, a lot of economists are predicting that rates are going to continue to go down. It's not going to be just a straight line, because as you can see here, it's not a straight line. But I just wanted you to be aware that if it's been probably 2, 3, 4 months, if you've been pre-qualified or pre-approved this year, we might have used a rate that's either higher or lower than where the market is today. So it makes sense to rerun those numbers if you're getting back into the market. And what I will share with you is we've been having lots of conversations with buyers right now, hesitant to get into the market because they think waiting until interest rates come down makes the most sense. And so I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw this. This is the thing that predicts home prices, and if they go up and down, is not interest rates. It's actually what is happening with supply and demand. And so if we look at this, this is showing us back in 2004. The blue is the demand for families wanting to buy homes, and the orange is the number of building permits that were pulled to build them. And so what you can see is that the orange line was greater than the blue line up until about 2017. So there were more homes on the market that were available than people actually wanting them. But that story has changed, and it didn't just happen 12 or 24 months ago. It's happened since 2017. You can see here that the blue line is now greater than the orange line, and that's been happening since 2017. So we have a compound effect going of there being a lack of homes available for the number of people who want them. And that doesn't include the fact that this generation, Gen Y, is the largest generation we've ever seen. There's 20 million more births in Gen Y than there were even in the baby boomers. So there's more people who want homes. Builders still aren't keeping up with the demand. We have people relocating here. Every 6.5 minutes, there's a family relocating here. And 66% of people who own a home have an interest rate of 4% or below. So instead of them, like in the old days, selling their house to buy another, they're opting to actually hold on to that house and turn it into a rental and buy another. So all of those factors are contributing to this massive shortage that we have. And it's the same thing that happened when, all those eggs went bad and people were wanting eggs, or people were wanting the toilet paper during COVID. What happened when there was a shortage of eggs, but the demand was still high? The price of eggs doubled. That is exactly what's happening with real estate. And so there are so many buyers, you might be one of them, that have decided to wait on the sidelines to buy a home until rates come down. But you're doing what a lot of other buyers are doing. And when rates come down, what do you think is going to happen to demand? Those buyers are going to re-enter the market. We still have a lack of homes available. It's going to drive prices up. And all I'm saying is I want you to own that home prior to the price going up. Because what you can see here in this chart that I've shared before, would you rather be the person that bought in 1976 that earned a 15% rate of return on their home, then 16, then 14? Or would you rather wait and buy in 1980 when maybe the rates look a little bit better? Your interest expense on the rate, I know it's ugly, but it's going to be far less than the amount of money you're going to be able to make if you get in now versus waiting. And that's not a sales tactic. That is a genuine, I just want you to win. If you buy a $500,000 home right now and it appreciates by 10%, that's 50 grand that you can make in 1 year. And that doesn't happen very lot. That if we go back in 1942, it's only happened a handful of times that we have double digit appreciation. I just want you in there beforehand. So even if you have a home that you have to sell, guess what? You probably made so much equity in the last 10 years. We can use some of that equity to buy the rate down and get a comfortable payment. If you're currently renting, good Lord, you're just throwing away rent. If you're paying $2,200 in rent, it's so funny. Renters are worried about the rates and they're like, oh, I'm going to wait. $2,200 a month in rent times 24 months is 52 grand. Guess what? The interest that you pay on the mortgage, the difference in like an average rate versus where we are now, even though they've improved a little bit, is far less. We just got to rerun those numbers. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, you want to rerun those numbers, let's do it. If you are a client of ours that have purchased in the last few years and we were anticipating rates to be lower than where they are today, that's what they were forecasted. We're just not there yet. Don't fall for any spam calls or postcards. Trust me, as rates start to come down, you're going to be bombarded with all these lenders calling you, charging you an arm and a leg to redo the rate. Just hang tight. Reach out to us if you're contemplating on if it makes sense to redo that. We don't want to do it when rates are on the way down. We want to do it when they've hit rock bottom. And we have a zero out-of-pocket rate drop program specifically for our Nerd Club to help you guys with that. So lastly, if you have any friends or family that are thinking of buying, we are licensed in several states of the U.S. We'd love to help. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Take care.